Welcome to Week 11's Big Ass Coin Picks. This week's background is the Atari arcade football game from the late 1970s. If I recall, two players would stand in the end zone and work a trackball to play the game. I don't remember this one too well, but you can see how Madden 2012 evolved from this game. What? You can't? Well, that's just because you don't have enough imagination. Now, on to this week's picks. Last week, even though the US CGA coin improved its winning percentage from 33 to 42% by winning 9 out of 16 games, it nevertheless lost the week to the massive brain and dropped its win-loss record to 0-3. You know, if it weren't for this coin, the contest would be going pretty well by now. Oh well, let's hope for better things from this week's coin. The CB's coin is a respectable 1-1, but has a weak overall win rate of 46%. Hopefully CB's is prepared to step up its game a little bit and come in with something, say, in the high 50s, maybe even the low 60s rate this week. Let's watch the picks. Okay, heads and tails. And our first game this week features the New York Jets at home. Broncos at home versus the New York Jets. And the Jets have a 6-point favorite. And the first flip of the 11th week goes with the Jets. New York Jets. Okay. Our next game, Jacksonville in Cleveland. And this is interesting. It started off with Cleveland being the favorite, but the line has moved significantly by 1.5 points, such that the game is now a straight-up game. Cleveland, Jacksonville, no favorite. And the flip? Miss. The flip? Oh, another tails for Jacksonville. Okay. Next game, Carolina in Detroit. And Detroit, having a tough time of it recently, is a 7-point favorite. And I got to believe that. I think they're going to be pretty riled up after getting beat by Chicago. And the coin, in and out of the stadium. Do it again. Another tails. And that's Carolina. Gosh, I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. I don't agree with that pick. Okay, Tampa Bay. Ooh, going to Green Bay. The Bay Battle. The Battle of the Bays. Green Bay up by 14 points. Yeah, well, after 45-7 clubbing of the Vikings, I can see that. In fact, I would take Green Bay. And the coin agrees. All right. Now, I know sometimes it looks like the coin isn't really being flipped, that it's just kind of landing flat. Landing flat, but that's not the case. It's just that the video isn't fast enough to catch the spinning of the coin, so it just kind of looks like I'm tossing it in there. But rest assured, I am flipping this coin. Okay, next game. Buffalo into Miami. And I always say that they never have faith in Buffalo, which has been kind of proven out recently. But to put them 2.5-point underdogs to Miami, come on, that's like adding insults to injury. So I'm going to say Buffalo, but let's let the coin decide for itself. If it can flip itself into the stadium. Let's try again. Buffalo. Good job, coin. Okay. Next game. This is a good game. I think it's a good game. Oakland and Minnesota. And Oakland is the favorite by 1 point. So that's kind of like a straight-up game, really. And, I don't know. You think they could bounce back from that Monday night thrashing. Plus, Oakland's got something to prove, too. They're in a tight race. In the West, I think they lead the division by 1 game. And the flip, Miss. The flip. Oakland. Yeah, it's a tough call, but I think Oakland's the clear favorite there. All right, here we go. Here's the game of the week. Dallas into Washington. Now, Dallas is on a roll, and Washington is on a fold. But nevertheless, it should be a good game. And what do we got here? We've got Dallas favored by 7.5. And the coin is up. And it's going to go with Dallas. You know, this coin has come up tails like almost every time. Okay, Cincinnati into Baltimore. Now, these guys are in a tough division. They're both 6-3. One game behind Pittsburgh, or a half game behind Pittsburgh at 7-3. So at the end of this game, there's going to be two people tied for first in the AFC North, and somebody else is going to be 2 games out of it. And right now, Baltimore is favored by 7 after beating Pittsburgh last week. Yeah. Bad shot. Here we go. Try again. Another tails. Cincinnati. Okay. See, this just goes to show you, even though a coin can go 50-50, it doesn't have to go 50-50. It can come up tails 10 times in a row. Not very likely, but it can happen. Okay, next game, Seattle into St. Louis. I think both teams are, let's check here. No, Arizona's 3-6, or who cares about that? Seattle is 3-6, and Rams are 2-7. But the Rams are favored by 1.5. So let's see what the coin does here. Miss. Coin. Rams. It's going with St. Louis. Okay, another should be lopsided affair. Arizona into San Francisco. San Francisco favored by 9.5. Has anyone else noticed that it doesn't seem like San Francisco wins their games by much? I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe they're not really an 8-1 team. But anyways, let's find out what the coin says. Wow. The coin's got a bias towards jumping out of the stadium today. Try it again. Oh, it's going to go with San Francisco. Give 9.5 points. Tennessee into Atlanta. And here's a case of a team, Atlanta. I think they're much better than their record. Right now they've got a 5-4 record. But I got to say they're probably the best 5-4 team in the league. Be playing Tennessee. And I can't find them. Oh, they're 5-4 as well. But nevertheless, Atlanta favored by 6. Got to agree, probably more. And the coin. Wow. Coin. It's a tails. Tennessee. Okay. San Diego, Chicago. San Diego kind of having another disappointing season. 4-5. Playing Chicago, which seems to be on a kind of a comeback here. And Chicago is now 6-3 and tied with Detroit for second place in a division where you're only going to get second place when you're playing against Green Bay this year. So here we go. Oh, and the line is Chicago by 3.5. Oh, another tails. What do you know? Chargers. San Diego. Okay. Grudge match. Philadelphia. New York Giants. Giants favored by 4.5. Philadelphia is 3-6, and the Giants are 6-3. But the Giants are kind of erratic. But let's see what happens here. Giants. And our last game of the week, Monday night, Kansas City into New England. Seems like a mismatch. And the odds makers have New England by 14.5. That means that New England has got to win by more than 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it's doable. The big ass coin agrees. So, there you have it. That's New England over Kansas City. And those are this week's pick of the big ass coin. Ooh, that was rough. Looks like I picked the wrong week to get emphysema. Anyway, here's the summary with the big ass coins picks in gray. Gray to match this week's overall theme. I'm not going to comment on the coins picks this week, since I seem to get most of my own picks wrong. So let's just see how it goes. If the big ass coin wins this week, all will be right again with the universe. But if the massive brain wins, it'll definitely be time to hit the panic button. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. We'll know in a few days. So be sure to check back in to see this week's results as the fight of the century continues.